Can you make that work? Okay. Hello, 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 hello.
We can hear you, Jim.
Can't hear it. Can't hear it. Does it work? Does it work? Is it
We
over the?
But I
can
don't
hear
hear
you.
voice.
Hello, 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 hello. Maybe it's working there. I think it's working a little bit.
We hear you, Jim. Are you trying to, is it just your voice or are we supposed to hear
I'm
it?
just testing. Yeah, we're getting about ready to go.
Okay, we can hear you.
Are you? Okay. You want to kick it off?
Yeah, sure. Let's get the meeting started. Aloha, my name is Andrew Okabe, but before I introduce myself, I'd fully like to introduce myself fully. I'd like to make some introductions. In the back of the room to your left, because you're facing us, is Commissioner Naomi Kauae, one of our commissioners here at the Public Utilities Commission. Second, in front of the room, we have both Jim Gashel and Luann Blake from the National Federation of the Blind of Hawaii, who both will fully introduce themselves within their presentation. And my name is Andrew Okabe. I'm one of the utility analysts here at the Commission. I'm also the contract manager for the Print Disability Assistance Program. We have numerous groups participating today, both in person and online, and I want to give a big mahalo out to those who are participating and attending. Next, I want to cover logistics really quickly. First, we have some water bottles to the left side of the room. As you entered, it would be to your right. Next, restrooms are available here on the first floor in the front of our hearing room. You actually access on the outside of in the hallway and in the lobby. But let us know, let both me and Deborah Kwan, who was at the reception desk, know if you need assistance because it is locked. We have the keys. If you called into this meeting on your phone or on WebEx, please mute your microphones while you're on the call. Otherwise, I will mute you if you're being too loud. If I have muted you on your phone, you press *6 to unmute yourself to begin speaking again. As a courtesy, I want to remind everyone here and on the call that you first, identify yourself and your organization whenever you are speaking, and B, clearly speak into a microphone or your phone so that all participants online can hear what you are saying. Next, I'll quickly go over the intent of this meeting. This meeting is to introduce this program to individuals who are eligible to participate in this program, as well as organizations that may want to promote this program. And as a bonus today, we will provide live instruction on how to use the service through our contractor on mobile phone app and telephone. We'll also do a demonstration by YouTube. Lastly, before I hand over to Jim and Luann, I would like to go over why this program exists. Pursuant to Act 247 or 247 of Session Laws Hawaii 2023, mandated that the Commission appropriate $150,000 each for each fiscal year 2023 to 2024 and 2024 to 2025 to provide free telecommunications access to certain information for persons with print disability. Promptly after HB 933 HD2 SC1 CD2 was signed by Governor Green on July 7, 2023, the Commission embarked on procurement. Although that effort took 7 to 8 months to complete, the Commission was able to contract RFP 2402 with National Federation of the Blind of Hawaii for $119,900, with the remainder $30,000 to a contract management vendor for contract tracking and reporting. Now, let me hand it over to Jim and Luann for the instructions to start the training session. Let me turn on the MP3.
Thank you. Oh, thank you, Andrew. And I'm Jim Gashel. I'm with the National Federation of the Blind of Hawaii, State Secretary, and 2 or 3 other hats in the organization. We're going to open this session with a little song. As soon as Andrew can cue it up, you'll hear the song.
Video and content window.
Mark, we are good to go. Proceed when you are ready. I repeat, proceed when you are ready.
That hand still extended out the window. He gives a big wave now to the cameramen that are down there. He is rolling.
Mark Riccobono of the National Federation of the Blind is rolling.
You got some mail, you gotta read. KNFB readers all you need. No need for blues, we got your news. that you can use. If you need a little cash, the ATM can talk back. Accessible technology. Accessible technology. Accessible technology. Anything is possible and everything's accessible. Accessible technology. You wanna learn? Go take a class. Don't matter if it's English or it's math. Technology just needs to be accessible so that we can achieve. Teach Acts got it all, gonna bring it into law. Accessible technology. Accessible technology. Accessible technology. Anything's possible and everything's accessible. Accessible technology. Hey, hey, hey. Give me some of that guitar. Accessible technology. Accessible technology. Anything is possible and everything's accessible. Accessible technology.
Okay, there you go. That song really kind of says it all. Everything is possible with accessible technology, and that's what the program is really about here today. We have so much more wonderful access to not only current news, but lots of other information than we used to have. I'm struck by the fact that for people who can see, they're bombarded with information. It's almost an overload kind of thing I can imagine. There's signs, there's posters, there's bulletin boards, and all kinds of things that I've never experienced before. But with a service like NFB Newsline Hawaii, we can help to narrow that gap in information that we do not get. We're very honored to have the Public Utilities Commission as one of our partners in being able to provide this service. We're also very honored to have the Hawaii Department of Human Services Division of Vocational Rehabilitation and Ho'opono as a partner in being able to provide this service. And if she's out there, I'd like to introduce Lee Diaz, the Administrator of Vocational Rehabilitation, to say just a few words of greeting.
Aloha, Mr. Gashel and everyone there. This is Leah Diaz, Division Administrator of the Vocational Rehabilitation Program under the State Department of Human Services. And I have to say, I'm so energized by that song. I love it. I love it. And, also I was a longtime administrator of Ho'opono, and at Ho'opono and at DVR, we really recognize the importance of NFB Newsline in providing, timely and important information to all of our community members, which includes people with print disabilities. And we've been pleased to support the Newsline program. We recognize the power of it, and we are so excited that now the Public Utilities Commission has also joined in to expand the program. It's a very important program. So thank you all. Thank you, Mr. Gashel.
Thank you, Leah, and pleased to have you here and have DHS, DVR, and Ho'opono as partners in providing this service. Now, we're going to have several people speaking on this program today, and we're not done when this program's over. We're also making this on YouTube, so people all over the world can know what we're up to here and help to expand and grow the service. So, as Andrew says, when you have an opportunity to ask a question or want to say anything, make sure that if you're here in the room in person, make sure that you have a microphone. And of course, for those of you listening, I said on Expedia, but it's really WebEx. Expedia is for travel. WebEx is for listening on a program, I guess. So anyway, WebEx, make sure you're loud and clear for us. Our next speaker I want to introduce is Luann Blake. Now, we call Luann our project manager and program evangelist. And so that's a nice title to say that she's out there promoting this program and helping to make it grow and doing a wonderful job of it. Luann had the opportunity to come to Hawaii when her husband, Maurice Perret, decided to become a mobility instructor at Ho'opono, and Ho'opono decided he should become a mobility instructor there. And Luann thought she was going to come to Hawaii and retire, but we had other ideas for her. So here's Luann Blake to give you an overview of NFB Newsline. She has a slide deck and with some slides and can make the whole deck available if some of you want to get that by email. Go ahead, Luann.
Thank you, Mr. Gashel, and aloha, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. Before we get to the really fun part of this presentation, I'm going to give an overview of NFB Newsline Hawaii. And I want to start off by giving a big mahalo to our sponsors. And they are the Hawaii State Department of Human Services and Division of Vocational Rehabilitation. And we have with us today staff and students from Ho'opono. So give it up, guys. We want to know you're here. So there they are. All right. All right. The Hawaii Public Utilities Commission and the National Federation of the Blind. So big mahalo to all of you. Mahalo to the commissioner for being here, and a big mahalo to Andrew Okabe, who's been great to work with and worked really hard to put this presentation together. So I'm going to do an overview. NFB Newsline was developed in 1995. And one of the first publications that was made available through that service was USA Today. And all of the services provided through NFB Newsline are free of charge to subscribers. So content that is available on NFB Newsline. There are over 500 publications available through NFB Newsline. And on NFB Newsline Hawaii, and actually any NFB Newsline subscriber can access 3 Hawaii publications currently. And they are Associated Press Hawaii, Garden Island News, and the Star Advertiser. And we are working to add additional Hawaii publications to NFB Newsline. Also available through NFB Newsline is breaking news. And that includes ABC, CBS, CNN, Fox, NPR, Apple Insider, Android Central, ESPN Online, Science Daily, BBC, C-SPAN News, and other additional content that's available through breaking news. So you can be very well informed and up to date on all the breaking news. We also have national newspapers. There are 13 publications, national publications available, and they include Associated Press National, Christian Science Monitor, New York Times, USA Today, and the Wall Street Journal. We also have 6 Spanish language publications that are available through NFB Newsline. We have over 90 magazines available on NFB Newsline. So any subscriber to NFB Newsline Hawaii will have access to over 90 magazines. And they include Air and Space, Braille Book Review, Talking Book Topics, Discover Magazine, Dogster, Catster, Girls Life, Highlights, Macworld, National Geographic for Kids, PC World, Rolling Stone, Science News, Stone Soup, and Time Magazine. So you can see these magazines cover a really broad range of topics and include periodicals that appeal to people of all ages. And I will add AARP magazine to that list since that's something that's of interest to me.
Relevant to us, Luann. Yeah, very relevant to us.
Exactly. We also have international publications available on NFB Newsline Hawaii, 14 publications in total. And they include the Daily Mail UK, Japan Times, New Zealand Herald, TASS Russian News Agency, and the World Politics Review. So if that wasn't enough, there's other content available on Newsline, NFB Newsline Hawaii, and that includes emergency weather alerts, the 7-day weather forecast, the Hawaii State Specific Channel, television listings, retail ads, job listings, and so much more. It's almost information overload. So who is eligible to get all this great information? So any individual, including children, as you will hear shortly, there is a subscription that parents can sign their minor children up for. So any individual who is legally blind, so meets the legal definition of blindness, has low vision, has a reading disability such as dyslexia, or has a manual dexterity or other physical disability that prevents them from using standard printed material. So how do you apply for NFB Newsline? Well, there's a number of different ways that you can get registered. You can call the NFB Newsline National Customer Service line, and that is 866-504-7300. You can apply using the online application, which is available at nfbnewsline.org. If you're a patron of your state library for the blind and print disabled, you can call them up and let them know that you want to subscribe to NFB Newsline. And last, but certainly not least, and I hope you take advantage of this because I want to hear from you, you can call the NFB Newsline Hawaii Help Desk. And that phone number is 800-955-6169. So how can you access all this great content? There's lots of ways you can access it. You can access it through a regular touch phone, telephone, or a smartphone, such as an iPhone. There is a secure website that you can access the content through, which is nfbnewslineonline.org. There is an app for the iPhone or iPad, and they are working on an Android app, and I understand that will be out soon. You can also access using Amazon Alexa devices. As you will see soon, you can access it using a portable reading device such as a HumanWare Victorita Stream, or you can also use the NLS digital talking book player. And finally, you can have the content emailed to you. So thank you all for being here, participating in this presentation, and seeing and learning about how NFB Newsline Hawaii can change your life.
Well, Luann, it changed yours, so I guess it can change. I guess it, and
No exaggeration. to say it
and,
can change your life.
and it changed mine, and it can change anyone else's that is eligible for sure. Thank you so much. Well, with all of that, it's obvious that it takes an infrastructure to make this happen. And we have the guru of the infrastructure to talk to us on this program, and that is Scott White, the director of our National NFB Newsline Operations Center. Scott, are you there?
I am here. Can you hear me?
All right, go for it. Tell us
Okay.
how it works.
Okay. Well, thank you for everyone for your support of NFB Newsline Hawaii. Indeed, it is a valuable program that can definitely change people's lives and keep them connected to the community. I wanted to go ahead and tell you a little bit of background about NFB Newsline. As Mr. Gash was saying, I am the director of NFB Newsline, Scott White. My official title is Director of Sponsored Technology Programs. Our Newsline service is a service of the National Federation of the Blind. Today, I wanted to take a few minutes to give you some background about some things about behind the scenes, including some of our technology that we use. Okay, so I want to first start off with talking about our NFB Newsline staff. So I'm the director, as I mentioned. Also, we recently hired a deputy director for NFB Newsline. We have a gentleman that does customer service. He also does things with processing our applications when Luann's talking about the eligibility. So he makes sure that all the people are qualified and certified for the program and then puts them in our database. He also helps us mark up some of those magazines that she was listed. Most of our content is done electronically. So to give you an idea of how we get our newspapers on the system, there's a variety of different ways, but in general, what happens is the newspaper will go ahead and deliver us the content, and that comes very early in the morning. Then we have computer processes that go through that and divide that up into sections and into articles. Much like a person with vision would be reading the newspaper, that's the way it's organized. So on NFB Newsline, we have 3 editions. We have the current day, so we have the one for today. We have yesterday's, and then we also keep the 3rd edition we call a major edition, which is for Sunday. Okay, so that's a little bit about the publications. Okay, we also have on staff another customer service person that we're openly seeking for now. And then we have the gentleman that makes everything go, and that's our senior systems engineer that does all our programming as well. Okay, the technology that we use. We have several Amazon servers in the cloud that process the information and deliver it to the individuals. We have 4 computer systems that's in a data center here in Baltimore, Maryland, where I'm based at, and they answer the calls. Now, each one of those computers can handle a number of calls, but in total, we can handle 164 people across the country calling in simultaneously. Now, when our publications, as far as updating our publications, we get updates for our publications for the providers that send us the information every 60 minutes. So every hour, we're going to go out and see if there's any new information on that website or if there's any new information that a newspaper has sent us to process. NFB Newsline is on the move with its technology. As Luann said, we started in 1995, and at that time it was just a telephone service, so everybody would call in on the touch-tone telephone. Then around 2008, 2009, we came up with NFB Newsline Online. That's when we developed a secure website. So for individuals now, all this information that we're talking about, and you're going to see demonstrated several other ways today, you can go onto a secure website and log in and get this information as well. Well, also around that time, we came up with mechanisms, and this will be demonstrated later on with the Victor Reader. We came up with ways that we could download information to the portable players that are used by the blind. Like I said, the one we'll be talking about today will be the Victor Reader. Around 2012, we decided that the iPhone would be a good platform. So we developed an app called NFB Newsline Mobile. Now that at that time, and still right at this moment, that's just available for iOS devices like iPhones and iPads. Okay, 2018, we wanted to expand. People had asked us a lot to provide hands-free access, and it was wonderful to be able to offer that, because it not only offered it up to a blind community, but it made it eligible to be used by persons like quadriplegics, so forth, that weren't able to use their hands. So that's, if they had good voice control, they could use that. Around 2020, we came out with the National Library Service that provides books and some magazines to their subscribers. They also have started providing like e-readers, braille displays. So now what we have is the capability where we can download NFB Newsline content directly to those braille displays, so a person can read that in braille. Later here in 2024, we're coming up with an Android app for those users that use that platform. Just to give you an idea of the scope of NFB Newsline around the country, I wanted to give you a few statistics that stand out here. NFB Newsline is currently available in 47 of the states. Registered across the country, we have 130,000 subscribers roughly. We process a call, we get a call into the NFB Newsline every 20.8 seconds, 24 hours a day. I think that's phenomenal. We process a call every 20 seconds. We also have NFB Newsline content. Now, this includes on the phone, all the methods that we talked about, the iPhone, the website, everything. A person gets a piece of content from NFB Newsline every 1.85 seconds. And that's 24 hours a day. Okay, when it comes to the number of minutes on the telephone, we do 24 million per year. And that's for everybody in the country. As far as on a website, we have 7 million accesses on our website. The iPhone, we have 457,000 accesses of that. And all these stats are over a year's time period. Now, those downloads that I was telling you about, we had 12 million of those last year. Finally, we have a facility on NFB Newsline. Let's say that I'm listening to an article, and for my personal use, I'm going to get it sent to me. It could be a recipe or maybe a longer article. Then I get sent to my computer via email, and so I can listen to it and explore it more thoroughly later. So we sent out 1.6 million emails in that capacity. Now, how can we support NFB Newsline Hawaii? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to have monthly meetings with Luann and other staff there from NFB Newsline Hawaii. And it's really beneficial, we found, to have these meetings in other states, because I'm able to share concepts, maybe marketing concepts, different techniques, tips, tricks, what have you, that others are using in their states. So we're getting sort of the synergy of all the other states working together and benefiting from that. Also, we can assist with trainings. I do a number of trainings to state agencies for the blind and also for talking books around the country. So in conclusion, I want to go ahead and give my contact information here. My email address is swhite, so it's swhite @nfb.org. And also my phone number is 410-659-9314. That's 410-659-9314. And my extension is 2231. Again, thank you for the opportunity. Back to you, Mr. Gashel.
Okay, Scott, thank you very much. You know, it's really quite a sophisticated system of technology that makes this happen, because imagine we're putting lots of information out over a wide variety of devices. And as Scott has said, it's grown as the years go by, and it will grow as the years go by in the future. The devices we're using today, who knows what we'll be using 20 years from now, but we know that this service will be keeping up with it. Well, NFB Newsline can speak for itself. You don't necessarily need us to speak for it, except to introduce it. So now I'm going to do a little demo to show you how it does speak for itself, I hope.
NFB Newsline for unlimited long distance users. Local long distance number. Button.
Okay, so that my iPhone landed on the local long distance number. That's actually calling a number in New York. But since I have unlimited long distance, I can do that. Now, if you didn't have unlimited long distance, you can call 888-882-1629 and get exactly the same service, and that's a toll-free number. But I'm helping to save the service a little money by calling the local long distance number. I'm going to do that right now.
10:31 a.m.
Welcome to NFB Newsline.
Para continuar en español, aprieta 2.
NFB Newsline is provided by the National Federation of the Blind along with state sponsors. To log in as Mr. Gashel, press 1. To log in as a different Welcome, Mr. Gashel. Please select from the following options. Main menu. To read national channels, NFB Newsline news and tutorials, press 1. To read
I'll let you hear a little of this
channel, press 2. To read newspapers in your state, press 3. To enter your favorites list, press 4. To read newspapers in a different state, press 5. To read local store circulars, press 6. To read magazines, press 7. For TV listings, press 8. For job listings, press 9. For subscribers control panel, including local phone number lookup and speech control, press 0. Main menu. To read national channels, NFB Newsline news and tutorials, press 1. To read your state's information channel, press 2. To read, please select from the following content options. To select the local weather for Honolulu, Hawaii, press 1. To select the sponsor greeting, press 2. To select
the sponsor greeting,
press 3. To select in sponsor's greeting, there is one article in this section. Article 1, Aloha. This is NFB Newsline sponsored by the Hawaii State Department of Human Services and Division of Vocational Rehabilitation, Hawaii Public Utilities Commission, and the National Federation of the Blind of Hawaii. For more information, please contact Lou Ann Blake at 800-955-666. Please select from the following content options. To select the local weather for Honolulu,
we don't need to know the weather.
To select the sponsor greeting, press 2. To select the NFB of Hawaii, press 3. To select the Hawaii Information Channel, press 4. For the end of the list, press 7. For the list again, press 8. Please select from the following sections, or press 99 for continuous reading. Cooking Club recipes, press 10. Bus, press 11. General interest, press 12. Hawaii Association of the Blind, press 13. Hawaii Library for the Blind and Print Disabled, press 14. Hawaii Office of Elections, press 15. Ho'opono, press 16. NFB Newsline Hawaii Announcements, press 17. Public Utilities Commission, press 18. Please select from the
8.
In Public Utilities Commission, we apologize, but Newsline found no content matching your selection.
No content.
Please select again. Please select from the following section.
Who's got content?
Press 99 for continuous reading. Cooking Club recipes, press 10. Bus, press 11. General interest, Press 12, Hawaii Association of the Blind. Press 13, Hawaii Library for the Blind and Print Disabled. Press 14, Hawaii Office of Elections. Press 15, Ho'opono. Press 65. In Hawaii Office of Elections, there are 6 articles in this section. Article 1, Election Security. Election Security. With all the information out there, it is hard to sort what is real from what is not. The Office of Elections has gathered a number of common election topics.
Go to the next
Article 2, Hawaii Accessible Voting Guide. Voters with disabilities. Read on to learn about Hawaii's accessible voting services. This guide highlights accessible voting options so that you can decide which voting method works best for you and your individual needs. What are my voting options? Vote at home with a paper ballot. 1. If reviewing, marking, and returning your paper ballot poses any challenges,
If I
you
want
can
to back out, I
please
just
select
do
from the
star.
following sections. Please select from the following options. Main menu. To read national channels, NFB News, and please select from the following content options. To select My Newspaper, press 1. To select the Garden Island News, press 2. To select the NFB of Hawaii, press 3. To select the New York Times, press 4. To select the Star Advertiser, press 5. To select the USA Today, please select from the following available issues. For the Star Advertiser dated Thursday, August 15, 2024, press 1. For the Star Advertiser dated Wednesday, please select from the following sections or press 99 for continuous reading. Editorial, press 10. Hawaii News, press 11. Obituaries, all, press 12. Obituaries, to 0. In editorial, there are 8 articles in this section. Article 1, editorial, remain vigilant as deep fakes spread. By none. As the 2024 election season unfolds, battleground states are experiencing an influx of contentious campaigning by politicians, political action committees, and, thanks to social media platforms,
Okay, one final demo here. I want to show you.
Please select from the following available issues. For the please select from the following content options. To select main menu. To read national panels and subscribers control panel menu. Press the star key to exit. To look advanced search, please select from the following previously defined searches. To select searching for Josh Green and all issues of newspapers in any of your favorites. Press 1. To select searching for Trump, please select from the following actions. To edit the search, press 1. You are searching for Josh Green and all issues of newspapers in
That's
any
the
of your
governor, if you
favorites.
didn't
Please
know.
be patient while Newsline pulls up your content search results. This may take a few minutes. Newsline found 13 matches for your search. Item number 1 of 13, the Garden Island News dated Sunday, August 11th, 2024. In Hawaii News, Article 1, overall costs for Maui expected to top $12 billion by Kevin Knodell, Star Advertiser, Sunday, August 11th, 2024, 12:05 a.m. And all.
Well, okay, so as you can see, that, you know, that's really powerful. I figure if you want to know anything about Hawaii news, and especially if it comes from the government, put in Josh Green and you're likely to get a lot of articles, and you do. And you get articles anywhere from the Garden Island and from the Star Advertiser, but believe it or not, he's also mentioned in the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, and a bunch of other publications, especially around the time of the anniversary of the Maui fires. And that made the news all over the country. So powerful service, just really a powerful service, how you can move around from local content to really to national content. So that's the phone connection. going to ask Andrew to play a little YouTube. This is an explanation of connecting a Braille display, and the Library of Congress is one of our partners in making this service available. And so this demonstration comes from Judy Dixon, a person at the Library of Congress in Washington, D.C. Andrew, are you ready with that? Yeah.
NLS e-reader ZoomMax How-To Series. How to access NFB Newsline.
Hello, I'm Judy Dixon. I work in the Patron Engagement section at NLS. As of software version 2.0, the ZoomMax e-reader can access NFB Newsline. With an NFB Newsline account, the e-reader allows you to connect to your account and download Newsline material for reading. The first time you open NFB Newsline from the Online Services menu, you will be prompted to enter your NFB Newsline identification number. After entering this number, press Enter, and you will be prompted for the security code. After entering this 4-digit code, press Enter, and you will be at the NFB Newsline menu. Here you will find 3 items: Account Management, Publication Management, and Exit. Account Management contains 7 items: User Login, where you can log in to a different account, 3 radio buttons, Always Update, Daily Update, and Manual Update, to set update frequency, a checkbox to choose to keep outdated, to prevent the program from deleting older issues, Show Favorites, that shows a list of your favorite publications, and Exit. Publication Management contains 3 items: Sync Now, Titles, which lists all titles available on Newsline, and Exit. In the titles list, there is an asterisk .5.35 in front of the titles that you have selected as a favorite. Once your Newsline publications have been downloaded, they will be available for reading in the book list of the Book Reader application. When reading Newsline content, the articles are usually at level 3 and the sections are usually at level 2. While reading, press Navigation Up or Navigation Down to select the navigation level you want, and Navigation Left and Navigation Right to move through the items at the selected level. For more information about reading Braille books and file management, see the other tutorials in this series.
Okay, so thank you very much. So in case it isn't entirely clear, anybody who is eligible for the NFB Newsline service, and of course also eligible for the service provided through the Hawaii State Library for the Blind and Print Disabled, you can get a Braille e-reader, and that Braille e-reader can connect directly to NFB Newsline. And Judy showed how to make the connection, but the one thing I wanted to point out about this is once you've made that connection, every single day, well, as Scott explained, every single hour, the content on your Braille display may be automatically updated. And when you query the system to look at the most current content, you'll have it right there on the Braille display. It's really no additional setup to do once you've done it. So that's the Braille, and there are other Braille displays that do this. The one I'm using is a Mantis Q40, available from Humanware and the American Printing House for the Blind. And this device also updates to NFB Newsline, so I can read my current news articles, not only in speech, but also in Braille. Now we have an app on the iPhone. I will switch to the app on the iPhone. So give me I need to use the right connector, don't I? Good.
Let me switch the source too.
Yeah. Okay.
App switcher. NFB Newsline. Active.
All right, here we go.
NFB Newsline.
Get the right connector plugged in here for you. I'm not hearing my device. Yeah.
Where is faster? That's
NFB.
There we go.
Newsline voting.
Okay.
Information sources. Heading. Breaking news. Hawaii State Specific Channel. Hawaii Publications. Publications from other states. National newspapers. International newspapers. Magazines. All publications. Global publication search.
So again, this will be pretty familiar. It's the same kind of content, and I don't think we'll go through and read too much, but just to show you what's available in the app, there's one thing available in this app that's not available in any other part of the NFB Newsline Hawaii service, and that is
Act selected. The KNFB Reader Basic.
that.
3 of 4.
For some of you know what that is, but a lot of people may not. This is a way of you using the camera on the iPhone to take a picture and read almost anything in ordinary print, not handwriting, but typewritten material. And again, you don't want to spend a lot of time trying to read a newspaper that way. The other aspects of NFB Newsline Hawaii are good for that, but to identify a document, a letter that you got in the mail or whatever it might be, as long as it's typewritten, you can read that document with this. And it's a free text-to-speech reader that is provided as part of this app. Let's just go into something here. Let me see.
Selected. Information sources.
Okay, good. All right, good.
2 of 4. Global publication, all publication magazines, international newspaper, publications from other states, national newspapers.
National newspapers. Let's see what we get here.
Section index, forward, F, heading, Christian Science Monitor on C, Associated Press Nash A, search.
Okay, so
C, Christian F, forward, H, Hill, I, Investors Business Daily.
we probably should read Investors Business Daily, but let's read the Hill instead.
Hill, 08/full of national newspapers, news, 29 articles.
News.
News,
Okay.
29 articles. 6. Study rejects link between bail reform. 5. Pro-crypto Democrats rallied. 4. Harris prepares for a raucous DNC. Julia. Select news. Back button. Julia Mueller. Welcome to the Hills Campaign Newsletter. Left brace beacon, right brace campaign report. The big story. Harris prepares for a raucous DNC mere weeks after launching her presidential bid. Vice President Harris is headed toward what could be a chaotic Democratic National Convention, where thousands of protesters are expected to descend on Chicago. A circumflex copyright AP photo/Julia.
Well, we'll be hearing about all that next week, I guess, when they meet. So, but whoa. Oh, okay. That's not music from NFB Newsline. That's music from the iPhone. So there you have an idea of what the app can provide. And again, it's the same content, a little bit different format. Some people think using the app is a little more friendly. Some people think using the phone is a little more friendly. I'm from the old school. I use the phone, but then I'm sure a lot in this audience are app driven. So that's good too. Our point is we want to be available on whatever device is convenient and usable by the audience. And just to show a little bit more about the diversity of NFB Newsline, Maurice Perret is here with his Victor Reader stream. Maurice, can you come up and do just a little quick demo now? With a Victor Reader stream, if you don't know, is a and here you can use this microphone if that helps. Okay, good. It's a little personal e-reader. It's an audio reader, and right away every morning, the content that Maurice wants to read most is going to be available on his Victor Reader stream. Here's Maurice.
And that's what I really love about this powerful information source. NFB Newsline is customizable, right? There's no way I'm going to read. Okay.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm going to read 500 newspapers or 100 magazines. But I can customize NFB Newsline for what I want to read. So it's customizable. I think it's worth mentioning, I don't think we mentioned this, but everything from the concept development of NFB Newsline to people who developed it to people who keep it running from top to bottom are blind people. So we're the envy of the world in terms of the information we have available to us. I'm holding in my hand a device that's been mentioned a couple of times. It's HumanWare's Victor Reader. It's a device that's small enough to fit in my shirt pocket or my pants pocket or a book bag or a backpack. It is Wi-Fi and Bluetooth capable. So I can download the information, my newspapers that I want to read on a daily basis, get the current issues of Hawaii newspaper. So let's listen and see what I have on my reading list on NFB Newsline. Of course, let's see, where's my speaker? Where's my speaker?
I don't know. Where is your speaker?
It's over here.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see here. I think it times out. To go. Let's see here. Okay. So apparently you have to turn on the device for it to work.
Usually helps.
Technology, I tell you. If you leave it on, it tends to time out, which I wasn't anticipating, but that's what happens. It saves the battery. Let's see. Okay, let me connect it.
A boombox.
There we go. All right.
Connect device. Bluetooth. Wireless. Leaving menu. 13. Star Advertiser, August 15, 2024.
So one of the things I should say about the Victor Stream, it's a very powerful device, and we're the envy of all because of this. Not only can I get NFB Newsline content, I can get NLS books from Bard or bookshare.org, podcast, internet radio. But let's look and see what publications I have from my NFB Newsline app.
Bookshare, 22. Book, Internet Radio, TuneIn Radio, References, NLS Bard, Podcast, NFB Newsline, 21. Books, 13. Star Advertiser, August 15, 2024. 14. Star Advertiser, August 14, 2015. Star Advertiser, August 16. Wall Street Journal, August 15, 2024.
Today's Wall Street Journal. This also has powerful navigation, as we heard on where did we hear it? Where I can navigate with the arrow keys on my Victor Stream through articles or sections of the newspaper. So we're gonna pull up the Wall Street Journal today.
Wall Street Journal, August 15, 2024.
And let's go through the sections.
Level 2. 2024_08_ Europe. U.S. Russian citizen sentenced to 12 years in penal colony for Ukraine donation. Tech. Lenovo profit grows another quarter, helped by AI. Politics. Tim Walz and the debate over 24 hours of Minneapolis protests. Republicans and Democrats clash over vice presidential candidates handling of a period of historic unrest.
Shocking.
Education. Columbia University President Shafik resigns. Business. Layoffs in 2024. A list of companies cutting jobs this year.
So what I've done is I'm cycling through the sections in level 2 in the navigation. If I go to level 3, I can then look at the individual articles in those sections. The other thing that I can do, I can control the speed that I listen to it, the tone, bass and treble. I can even change the voice. I happen to like to listen to British voice, but I didn't think you guys would want to put up with that. So I changed it to a US North American voice. But I have all this flexibility in how I want to listen to my news content. Don't you agree? Doesn't that sound very human sounding? Humanware. Yeah. But
Nice going, Bert.
it's very, very powerful tool. And again, I carry this around in my pocket. It's today's newspaper or magazine or anything I want to put into my list. So this is my customizable news that I want to hear if I'm at home.
Well, and the thing to emphasize, Maurice, is you didn't have to do a thing to get that content on there today, correct? It just showed up.
It just shows up. That's exactly right. So the settings are that as long as you're connected to wireless, it will update on its own based on the settings that I put, which papers I want to upload. And I can delete content that I'm finished with at the end of it. But again, as Mr. Gashel said, I don't have to do anything. It just shows up. And then I can just tune in and read those 21 publications or versions of those publications, or any number. There's no limit to how many if I want to read all 500 of them, I suppose I could do that if I had the time and did work for a living. But it's a very, very powerful tool. I think that information is what makes us active contributors in our society, and we have every opportunity now to have access to as much information as we need about happenings in the world, magazine issues, technology. It's all there at our fingertips, under our fingers with the Braille display, or on this wonderful Victor Reader stream. So I appreciate the opportunity.
Okay, thank you very much, Maurice. Appreciate it. Yeah. Okay, good. Now we've talked about the different devices that NFB Newsline Hawaii can be found on. And we've talked some about the content as you've heard the demonstrations. Next, I'm going to introduce Tabby Mitchell, who is active as a parent of a blind, not a child anymore, blind young lady. You'll hear from her later on, but here's Tabby to talk about how we serve the blind youth.
Aloha, can you guys hear me? I'm phoning in. Yeah, you can hear? Okay, want to
We
make sure.
got you.
Okay, good. Did want to make sure I didn't have too bad of an echo. So my name is Tabitha Mitchell. I go by Tabby. I currently serve on the National Organization of Parents of Blind Children, which is a division of the National Federation of the Blind. We recently started a Hawaii Organization of Parents of Blind Keiki in Hawaii so that we can provide better outreach to the parents of the blind children throughout all of the islands of Hawaii. And in addition, I also work with Mr. Gashel in NFB Hawaii on the Honolulu chapter, working as a co-secretary with that chapter in an effort to involve the parents and to reach the kids that are on our islands and in our local communities to get them into the organization so that we can get them resources to really improve their lives, period. I mean, there really aren't any other words that explain it. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about our story. I have 5 kids. My youngest daughter is the one that was born blind. We think she was born blind. She wasn't identified as blind until she was about 3. She does have a degenerative retinal disorder. And so she had very little vision when she was diagnosed at 3 years old, and it's slowly fallen off over the years. By the time she was in, I don't know, late middle school, she was down to, you see it a little bit. In her mind, she sees a lot, but it's really like like motion detection. And now she's down to light detection, and she just recently graduated high school. You're going to hear from her a little bit later. So the picture I want to paint for you guys is how valuable this resource is and how we can utilize this resource to reach our most vulnerable population, which is our really, really young kids that are coming into blindness, and these families that are new to blindness, and they really don't have any idea how to get their heads around the reality. They automatically just generally have low expectations and think that, oh my gosh, what are we going to do to take care of these kids? And they have no idea of the realm of possibility and what's out there for the future of their blind kid as they grow up to be an independent blind adult. But in order to get them there, they have to have non-visual skills, and they have to have training, and they have to know the art of possible, right? So what's really cool about NFB Newsline is, as you've heard through all these different demos, there's so much information that's out there, and there are so many different ways that we can get this information into the ears, really, of the people that are qualified to receive it, or I guess eligible is the right term. So we had a gathering this past summer of about, I don't know, I think we had about 3,000 participants that were all blind or blind allies, and we all gathered for the National Convention of the National Federation of the Blind. That's a small number. And one of the numbers that was dropped in that meeting was that there are about 8.2 million Americans that are estimated to be blind or to have low vision. And that came from a 2022 census. So there are so many people out there that can utilize this resource and that can grow from this resource. We're barely getting the tip of the iceberg, right? So we know that there's so much more out there, so many more out there that we need to reach, and so much more that we can pull together. So as an example, when Emmy was 3 and she was first diagnosed with blind, we were trying to figure out, what does that mean? Obviously, we knew we needed to teach her Braille. And so we got a Braille telephone. It's actually a landline, and it had Braille buttons on it. She didn't know Braille. But one of the first devices that we used in our home to be able to educate ourselves and to teach her Braille when we didn't know Braille was to use the telephone with Braille numbers. So with that telephone, she could not only fill the numbers, but she could call up things like Newsline, and it has a phone service. There's a kids section that's involved in Newsline, and there are specific pieces of information that are, I guess you would say, they're catered. They go through and pick out the things that need to be specific to children so that the language is appropriate. Everything is there. I think it's called the Kids Corner, if I'm not mistaken. that was like many years ago. So now she's a young adult. So there like highlights is a perfect example. So you go into a doctor's office, as my age, you go into a doctor's office, you pick up highlights. Your sighted children can sit there and play through highlights. Well, you don't really have tools and things like that for a blind kid. And with Newsline, you get this type of information that the blind kids can have with them. And so there's so many more out there that we need to reach. And there's so many more capabilities of building this tool. So you heard a lot of demos and we talked about a lot of different devices. Currently, the Kids Corner is only available in the phone section. So as you all know, we've watched technology go, kids don't necessarily use landlines these days. So now their go-to, the first device that they get is they use their parents' phone to play with when they're in the line at Costco or wherever they may be. Their first device is usually an iPad. And so we have the availability to put, or the capability to put Newsline onto these devices, but we currently don't have the full functionality for kids. So there's so much more that we can do with this program, and we're really excited to be able to pull it into Hawaii. So let's talk a little bit about the population, and I'll wrap it up for you. So we have a lot of blind kids that come in to the system, and they may or may not have resources, they may or may not have tools. I mentioned we were trying to get our head around Braille. So with this service, we can reach these kids probably before they're getting any other services from their school, because they may be in preschool. They may be having, very little, like Jim mentioned when he opened, about all of the resources that are out there for the sighted community. You drive down the road, you see billboards, you're in the grocery store, you see all the different packaging there. I mean, print is all around us. These kids don't get that experience. And so NFB Newsline gives us the opportunity to put some of that literary information that sighted kids get on a day-to-day basis and to get it into their world. And it helps them as they go into the world, and they can, I'll go into elementary school. So kids move into elementary school. There's so much print material that's all around the room. There's posters, there's, handouts, we call them unidentified print objects. And so with NFB Newsline, it gives them the opportunity to follow current events. It gives them the opportunity as they grow to read magazines, and they're involved in conversations, current events. They're involved in conversations that are going on in their school. So I'm excited that we have the money. I'm excited that we have the opportunity to partner with all of the organizations. You'll hear me really beating the bushes to try to get more, because I feel like there's so much more that we can do. I want to move NFB Newsline into all of these devices so that the kids have the opportunity to use NFB Newsline on their iPads. Right now, they have to call up on the phone. So we have a lot of work to do. Really excited for the opportunities, and thank you guys for helping us move it along.
Okay, thank you, Tabby. Appreciate your comments. Now, we're going to take a question from the audience. Andrew, is this person one of our online people? Go ahead.
That's correct.
Person with a question.
From Access to Independence, the question is, will there be any magazines added in the future? And they say, hello, Jim. It's from Cal Wright.
Question is, will there be any magazines added in the future?
That's correct.
Okay. Luann, you're a good one to answer this question.
Yes, we are working to add 2 Hawaii-focused magazines to NFB Newsline. So I've reached out to a couple already, still working to talk with them about what that means and getting that done. So yeah, so hopefully in the not too distant future, we'll have 2 Hawaii-focused magazines.
Well, at least 2 for this year. And, you just can't tell next year and beyond. There are lots of publications we want to add out there. So we're currently scheduled to add 2 new newspapers and 2 new magazines for this year. So a total of 4 new publications from within Hawaii this year. And next year, who knows, maybe another 4 more. You just can't tell. Stay with us and you'll definitely find that out. Thank you for the question. And Andrew, let me know if there's anyone else that has a question. Okay, I'm going to move now to hearing from a few of our users, comments on how they use the service. The first one I want to recognize is our friend and colleague, Donald Sakamoto. Now, Donald is very active in the community, active in the state legislature and in community organizations. Donald, tell us how you use NFB Newsline and tell us a little about yourself. Donald, are you there?
Hello, Jim. Sorry, I got
There you go.
disconnected.
Go ahead, Donald.
Something went wrong.
You got
Yeah,
it.
no, my name is Donald Sakuma. I'm with the National Federation of the Blind. I'm with the Anui Nui Windward chapter of Hawaii, NFB. And I've been using Newsline since 2011 till now. I do a lot of advocacy work in public transportation, bus, paratransit, and our Honolulu Skyline, as well as other political things in the state legislature, city council, neighborhood board that I belong to in Kaneohe, and the federal also with federal congressional delegation. So my purpose of using Newsline is to get educated on different newspapers around the nation, to hear about transportation issues concerning rail, public transportation, homelessness, how they affect our daily lives when accessing sidewalks and stuff. And it really educates me. I have a advantage by reading these publications to express my concerns to the representatives from city council, to the mayor, to the legislature, at the neighborhood board, which gives me an advantage of understand what's going on nationwide and how we can incorporate that in our wonderful city of Honolulu, state of Hawaii, which is beneficial. I also listen to different online news segments like CBS News, NBC News, Fox, ESPN, BBC. I like to listen to those because I love to hear what they have to say on topic as it happens. The AP Press, as well as other publications worldwide, to get better informed what's going on. And it gives me an advantage of, like I said, to be well educated in the political realm as well as what's going on in our world with the environment and everything else. So kudos for having this wonderful service. I hope we can expand it to more with Luann's help and with the public utilities and Ho'opono New Visions, vocation rehab, and expand this to everybody who has vision impaired, to our kapuna who are losing the eyesight, to the young, to all others who are experiencing print disabled print capability of reading print. And thank you for allowing me to speak. And that's all I have to say. It's a wonderful service. I've been using it for a long time, and kudos for all it has brought to me in educating me and others what's going on in the world, in our nation, and here in Hawaii. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Donald. Next, we're going to hear from Ann Lemke. Ann is a retired UH professor and a very active user of the NFB Newsline Hawaii service. Ann, are you out there?
Yes, I am. Can you all
Go
hear
ahead,
me? Ann. First of all, a little about myself. I retired in 2020, and I've been using Newsline since before I moved to Hawaii, and I moved here 18 years ago. And I lived in El Paso, Texas before moving here. And but I want to, and also, I just want to say I just got married, so there will be a name change. I put in Lemke there because I didn't think anybody would recognize Ann Da Silva Williams. So anyway, so I will be submitting a name change. But I mean, I have a name change, but I'll be acquainting you all with my name change. I put it that way. Okay. What I want to really highlight now, I can't add anything to the talking about the devices, but I want to point out that as a retired person, I decided to cut back on devices. So I do not have a desktop computer now. I have my iPhone. I have my Victor Reader 3. I have my A-Lady device, Alexa device. And I have my e-reader from the library. Now, and yes, I read Newsline every day. But sometimes, technology being what it is, one device might not download the content. But since I have several to choose from, I know that one of the other ones will have the content. And if I'm willing to be flexible, then I have that information. Another thing that I really can't emphasize strongly enough, when you have electronic technology, such as is used for Newsline, then you can spell words, or you can have them spelled back to you. Now, I worked in higher education for just about 45 years. And one thing I learned from students, whether on the US-Mexico border or whether here in Hawaii, people want you to know how to spell their names, pronounce their names. Sometimes it's very nearly impossible to pronounce people's names correctly if you haven't been able to read the spelling of the name correctly. I, especially here where I might have needed to read a person's name, a Polynesian name, whether in the Hawaiian language or Samoan, Tongan, might be 24 letters long, without being able to spell it letter by letter, sound it out ahead of time before I would meet with the student, impossible to appear knowledgeable. No one wants to be disrespected by having their name mispronounced or badly pronounced. And I have a continuing need as a consumer of information to know how to spell my legislators' names, how to spell names in the national press of various kinds. It's just the respectful and good thing to do to get proper names correctly. And that might seem like a small thing, but it really never was a small thing when I was working, and I don't think it's a small thing now. And I don't know that I can add anything to what I've said that other people haven't said. So I will close for now.
Well, thank you very much, Ann. And it's a good point. Depending on which device you're using, obviously on a Braille display, it shows you the Braille character by character, and it will be
Oh yeah,
it
that's
will
the
be
other thing.
condensed, of course, but also on the audio devices, depending on which device you're using, there's a method that you can spell on every single interface
Letter.
we have. So
Yeah.
thank you very much for pointing that out, Ann. We appreciate your comments.
Yeah, and I do want to say that I have used both um, auditory and Braille out, you know, text to speech and text to Braille, and they're both very important. And I also want to say um, that having this available for people of all ages, including kids, is very important.
Thank you very much. Let's hear from a new user. That would be Nicole Quiball. Nicole, are you out there?
Yeah, hi, I'm here. Can you
Go
guys
for
hear
it,
me?
Nicole. Tell us
Okay.
about being a new user.
Okay. Hi, everyone. So my name is Nicole. I'm a new user to Newsline. I've been using it for about 2 to 3 weeks so far. I wanted to share my personal experience as a newcomer to the service. So I found navigating Newsline to be quite straightforward for me, and I found it easy to teach myself how to use the service and access the publications. As we've heard, there are various ways to access Newsline. I explored a few different options. So far, I've done by phone, by Alexa, and the website. I'm hoping to try the email option next. But so far, my favorite way to access the content has been through Alexa because I'm able to use voice commands to bring up the publications. So that's been pretty easy. And I do like that I'm able to customize the speed of the voices on that. During my time using the service, I did quickly realize how valuable it is to access the news in an accessible way like this. I assumed, because technology has advanced so much that there are other ways, but it's different. It's different to access it in this way. Um, it's just more accessible, and I'm not sure how to quite explain it, but I can't always access the news digitally in the same um aspect. So I was really impressed with the service and how it worked and how many publications were on there. So reading physical printed newspapers is out of the question for me. So I wanted to emphasize the importance of accessible technology. I wish this was a resource that I had sooner, but better late than never. So I'm happy to have access to it now. So the NFB provides a detailed guide on the different methods of accessing Newsline, which was really crucial for me in accessing these different ways. So with the Alexa, it had a step-by-step guide on how to set it up, on how to access it, and the same with every other option on how to get the content from Newsline. As I continue to explore the numerous features and the publications available, I particularly appreciated the ability to add certain publications to my favorites list. I know we've heard a couple people talk about how you can add your favorites to your list and you can access it in that way. So because there are 500 plus publications, I don't want to read 500 publications, but there are certain ones that I want to read. So putting certain publications in a favorite list kind of makes it um your own personal newspaper. So, you can access news that is specific to Hawaii, news that is specific to national news, or if you do enjoy things like fashion, you can access magazines that talk about fashion, which I thought was really cool and really interesting. But yeah, that feature has been especially useful in keeping track of the kind of news that I want to see, and that so far that's been my experience with using Newsline as a new user. I appreciate you guys giving me the time to speak on it. And I really enjoy the service and I think it's a really valuable resource.
Okay, thank you very much, Nicole. Now, I didn't say, but Nicole's a UH student. Nicole, what's your major?
Oh yeah, so I am a UH student. I'm going to UH West Oahu, and I'm a philosophy major.
Okay. and learning about NFB Newsline Hawaii in the midst of getting ready for finals also. So we have to give you some congratulations on that, Nicole. Okay. I hope you do well on the finals, by the way.
I
Okay.
did all A's.
Yeah. Oh, excellent. Okay. All right. Excellent. Wow. Good. Okay. And last but definitely not least, I want to introduce Emery Mitchell Butler. You heard from her mom, Tabby. Here's Emery. She's getting ready to go to school. Emery, tell us about yourself and your need for NFB Newsline Hawaii.
I love how the air conditioning decided to come on right when I need to talk. All right, my name is Emery Mitchell Butler, and I just graduated from Kalaheo High School on the east side of Oahu just this past May, and now I'm going to a college in Washington. So, I'm also a member of the Honolulu chapter of the National Federation of the Blind, and I am a co-treasurer. Anyway, so I am a student. Specifically, I plan to major in biochemistry, and there's a couple of other things in there, but that's the important part. And as a biochemistry student, a lot of my classes will sort of suggest or require that I stay up to date on current science news, and NFB Newsline Hawaii is super great at that. I can access from the breaking news section, I can access ScienceX, Science Daily, and Scientific American online. And from the magazines, there's Popular Science and there's Popular Science and oh my god, what's that? I don't remember that other science magazine. There's quite a few magazines in there. Those are the two science ones, but then there's quite a few other STEM related, technology magazines. And so that's what I am doing as a student. However, I am in a new place, but I really do appreciate the opportunity to stay up to date with news from home in Hawaii. So as my account is registered in Hawaii, I have all of the Hawaii information, the local channel, everything is right there. I use the iPhone app, so it's all right there. It's queued up for me, ready to go. However, what's really immediately relevant to me is the local news from where I am in Walla Walla. So I looked, and there's no newspaper for Walla Walla specifically. However, there is the Tri-City Tribune, which is a newspaper that covers sort of the metropolitan area of where I am. So I put it in my favorites, and I also put the a couple ones of the ones from Hawaii. So I put the Star Advertiser in there. So I really love how immediately when I launch the app, I have the local weather in Walla Walla, and then I can go to my favorites, which right now includes Tri-City Tribune and Star Advertiser right next to each other. So I could see the latest issues and the major issues of those. So I can keep up to date with news here, but I can also not lose my connection with home while I'm at college. And that's all.
Okay. Thank you, Emery. Emery's going to be a PhD biochemist, so stand by. And that's really great. So that's NFB Newsline Hawaii. We're growing thanks to the opportunities given to us by the legislature, the governor, the Department of Human Services, and the Hawaii Public Utilities Commission. We have the opportunity to grow and expand. You've heard about all the different devices you can use to get this wonderful service. You've also heard from a variety of people who use this wonderful service. So stay with us, learn more about us, come and join us on the NFB Newsline growth experience. We're glad to have had everybody here. We'll take any questions from either the audience here or online questions. And if we don't have any more, we can adjourn this meeting. Andrew, do we have any online people with a question?
I think we addressed everyone online unless anyone online has any questions, and we can take questions in person as well.
Anybody here want to speak up with a question? And if you do, wait till we can get a microphone to you. Well, maybe we
Look, do
answered
we have
all the
any
questions.
questions in person?
That's good. That's good. And you know, we really want to emphasize Luann's doing a wonderful job of expanding the Hawaii Information Channel. Lots of I usually say good information. Not all the information is good information. It is information. So I went on there and found the bus schedule changes. I wouldn't classify that as good information, especially where I live. They took off the number 20 and now I have to depend on a different bus. But it's information. It's essential. Let's put it this way. It's essential information. And well, the more the better. Thank you for coming, everyone. Thank you for participating in our meeting today. And we'll see you on NFB Newsline Hawaii. Thank you, everybody.